Hey, how's it going? It's Jim, and today I'm going to cover one of the accessories that people have been asking about and a lot of people have purchased for the Emove cruiser, and that is the seat attachment. And I'm just going to go through how it attaches, and I'm going to do a little ride with it with the camera so you can see how stable it is, and yeah, hopefully it helps you out. When you buy the seat attachment, you get the seat, this collar setup, and then a clamp that clamps the collar into place. The tools you will need to do this are a multi-tool, but really what you need is the 4 and 5 millimeter Allen for the back, and I recommend I like a ratchet for this, but a 13 millimeter, which is what you need to tighten the seat there. The seat doesn't come attached to the post. You have to put that on there. It takes quite a bit of force to get a seat down in there. There's a little tab. The notch out there on the seat bracket matches the little bit of a lip here at the back of the cruiser. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove these 4 bolts, put this on. So I've installed a few of these for customers, and so if you don't know, back in December I became a dealer for Voro Motors. So you can buy, well, the cruiser if you want. Anything that Voro sells you can buy from me if you'd like, but this is also available from Voro Motors, and for $65, which seems like a reasonable price for as solid as it is. It is pretty heavy. I weighed the seat and all the accessories is 4.8 pounds, so more or less 5 pounds, which is going to be added to the scooter, just to be aware of. All right, so I dumped so it comes with these 4 bolts, 2 different sizes, and the one little screw that holds the clamp into place. The shorter bolts go up in the deck, and the longer bolts go down in this back little bracket. These bolts, see how much these bolts are sticking out, and you can tell they're only threaded for a portion of it. You need to make sure that these bolts actually get fully seated, and I actually had to buy another replacement bolt. I don't know how fine this if you can tell this right here, but you can see the bolt's all the way tight and it's not making contact. You really need the next size down. If you can get one at my hardware store, they didn't have that many, but this is a M6 bolt, and this just allows you to tighten this down without having that same problem. Get in there nice and firm. Basically as tight as you can get it is best. Slide on the collar, matching up the hole in the rear. Try not to drop your bolts on the ground. This is a little bit tricky because the way this sits kind of behind the fender there. If I'm not mistaken, it's a 3 millimeter. And then you just put your clamp through here. From that point, it just slides in here. So the key at this point is to make sure you get this really good and tight. And that's in there pretty dang good. And the reason I have the paper towel is because this thing's quite greasy. So just to know. And I just want to give you a couple measurements. From the deck you get about, it looks like it's around 18 inches there on the outside of the outside scale. And then kind of trying to get this flat to the ground, about 25 from the ground. And then you pull this little handle, and it's got a hydraulic, and you can see the difference there is pretty good. Looks like we're in the neighborhood of 24.5 inches there from the deck, and holding it parallel to the ground, about 33 inches from the ground to the seat here. But here I'm going to do a little ride. Hopefully you'll be able to kind of see on the seat there if it's moving around too much, and get a feel for what's going on. So I'm going to do a little braking. You definitely feel some flex, and I got my camera set up over by my house. And I'm going to try going up there and hitting the brakes near the camera. But I do feel, it feels, I'm gonna have to see why there's a lot of flex. So you can probably see there's some flex in the hydraulic part of the mechanism. You see that there? I'm not getting very much flex in the actual attachment point. This is really nice and solid. And you can feel that. I'm gonna go a little bit lower with the seat and see if I feel it as much there. It feels kind of funny. I don't know what I look like, but I mean, I could see it being nice. I have a bad back, so this would be probably a really bad situation for me. It's reaching a little bit. Not really the best position. If you're somebody with a bad back, that might be something to be aware of. Here we go. I'm gonna take off, see if it flexes. Oh yeah, for sure. Kind of makes it feel like a little bit of a go-kart. Kind of fun. But man, there's a lot of flex there. One of the best things about this is that just with the simple release of the quick release, you can then take the seat off. And it's fairly unobtrusive when you're riding in this state. Like, it's not too bad at all. I'm trying to see if there's a spot under here where you can tighten up the hydraulic mechanism. You can see there's just some, I don't know if you can see that, but I think a lot of the movement I'm feeling when I'm riding is due to that. So you can, for me, it kind of is right where I tend to put my foot quite often. So even though it's not really, doesn't seem that obtrusive where it is on the, you know, a lot of times if I'm riding two-footed, I kind of, it wouldn't be too bad if I'm riding two-footed, but, you know, just you have to be aware of where it is. It's not awful. If you really needed the advantage of the seat, it's, you know, you could get used to it, I think. I hope this little look at the seat attachment helps out trying to get, you know, decide if it's something you might want. It's a nice option to have, I think, for, you know, if you have some mobility issues, or if you just like that, being able to sit down and aren't really comfortable standing for the significant range that the scooter has.
Catch the wave, feel